morning, good morning, good morning. Good to see all your smiling faces. Welcome. All right. We're going to, good morning, we're going to roll through our little introduction and get things moving. There'll probably be more people joining us as time goes on. So you'll get used to hearing that little buzzer thing. But welcome to the final installment of our ChangED webinar series that is put together in collaboration with the Teacher Powered Schools Network and the Innovative Schools Network. Today is, oh boy, here we go. Today is part 3, where I'm hoping that all of us will have a great discussion on what the start of the year will look like for everyone. I know it's been on people's minds for a very long time, and so I'm excited for all of you to get together and have conversations and really just support each other as we talk about and think about what this means for teachers and students moving forward. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Liz Seibert. I am co-founder and teacher at Wildland Science Research School, which is just outside of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We're in the Augusta School District. We have a 7 through 12 project-based learning, experiential learning school. We have about 75 students that enroll each year in grades 7 through 12. And we are a 8 staff member, I guess you could say, cohort, teacher-powered school. We have 3 founders that are still adjunct faculty and then 5 full-time staff members. And we also have struggled with all of the questions that you have. And so I'm excited to learn from you as well. And then on top of being at Wildlands and going back to teaching this year and just being there, I'm also a Teacher Powered Schools National Ambassador and a member of the ISN network. I love working with these networks, and I'm just really excited to have everyone here today. Todd is my partner in crime and technical wizard with the ChangED background here, so he's going to be helping us out with all of this, and a huge shout out and thank you to Todd for all he has done to help get this webinar series together. And big thank yous to Amy Youngie. Amy, if you could give a little wave too. Amy is the director of the Teacher Powered Schools Network, and her support of this project and my crazy random idea from very early on has been tremendous, and I'm super grateful and appreciative of that. And then Heather Terrell Stotts is the director of ISN. She is working with her staff today, so unfortunately she can't join us. But her support as well, and then Sue Elliott, faculty of the Innovative Schools Network through Payments of Love Only. She has been a tremendous support as well. So just lots and lots of thank yous go out to these groups in helping to put this webinar on. And then we also are excited to thank our sponsor in New Plan Learning today. This is a nonprofit organization that specializes in collaborative project management, innovative financial solutions, and turnkey development. NPL supports the charter school movement and believes that all children deserve access to a high quality, free, and public education within their community. And so you can learn more on our sponsors page from the SCED website, as well as newplanlearning.com. Beck from New Plan Learning is on the call with us today. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out in the chat through him or email Todd and he will connect you. So thank you to New Plan Learning for that. If you missed parts 1 and 2 of our webinar series, we do have recordings of those, and those are available on the SCED site, so I encourage you to check those out. I would also invite all of you to come to, I like to call it the biggest, most amazing family party of the year. But it would be the Innovative Schools Network National Conference. It has been, fingers crossed, I should say, it will be happening April 14th. Starts our free development day with the WRCCS, Wisconsin Resource Center for Charter Schools. They have amazing resources and things they're putting on this day for teachers. So check that out. And then Principal Al was our featured keynote in the part 2 of this webinar series, and he will be the featured keynote at the ISN conference in April. So if you liked what he had to say and you want more, again, please join us for that. It's an amazing time, an amazing community of people to get involved with and to learn from. We also have the Teacher Powered Schools National Conference. Registration is open for this. That's happening virtually October 19th through the 29th. So again, I encourage everyone to get involved. This is going to be an amazing buffet of all kinds of options, and the way in which you can go about learning through this platform I think is going to be amazing. It's very self-guided and driven in terms of like choose your own adventure path, but there are going to be a tremendous amount of resources and experts and discussions and just so many different types of things happening. So check that out at teacherpowered.org. Today, I would love for everyone to keep their cameras on, and I mean, you're all getting really good at this, and mute when you're not talking, utilize the chats for comments. If you'd like to get us started by commenting in the chat who you are, where you're from, what your school is, just to say hi to everybody so we can get an idea of who's here, that would be awesome. And then any questions or feedback or things, if you need to get a hold of myself or Todd throughout the day, feel free to utilize that. The other big request we have for everyone, now this is where teachers really need to listen, because I know teachers are sometimes the worst listeners, but we're asking everyone for later on in the day, we need this. So if everyone would go up to their screen in their picture, and in the top right corner, there are 3 dots, and you are going to rename your name. And at the very beginning, in front of your name, we would like you to put a lowercase letter that corresponds with the group cohort that you would like to work with later on for round 2. So obviously elementary, middle school, high school, if you work with any or all grade levels, then you are going to put in a letter in front of your name. So I have renamed myself, and hopefully you have too, and it looks like we're doing that. So if you could take some time, again, the 3 dots in the corner, rename, and then what you would like, what cohort group you would like to work with, elementary, middle school, high school, or any or all. That would be amazing. Okay, and we'll probably bug you if we need to later. If you check in today, this is a professional development opportunity. So if you check in today, you'll get a certificate of participation. If you need proof, or you would like proof, or you'd like to hang certificates on your wall, then you will get one in your email. So please check in, and also fill out any feedback for our session. We absolutely appreciate and take to heart any comments that you have on how we can improve things and help everybody out as we go along. So to get us started today, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Ken Robinson, but he is one of those amazing, inspiring people that I have learned a lot from over the years that I have worked with students. And I found this quote, but I also thought it was really funny, because if you know anything about Ken Robinson or you've read any of his books, this is not the way he was thinking about thinking differently about schools and working with students. But I would really like us to get in a mindset of this year will be an adventure. And we are going to have to get creative, and we're going to have to help students get creative in the way in which they think about school. And we know it's going to be challenging, but I know that you are all up for the challenge, because you are amazing humans and you did not go into teaching for anything other than to help children. And so I'm excited for all of you, and I'm hoping that as you dig into today and think about things, that you keep that in mind, because this is unknown. It's like incredibly unique and challenging to be in education right now. And we know deep down that there are no right choices or best choices when it comes to how school will look like or what it will be like for students and families. And the thing that really stinks is the weight of each decision is so incredibly heavy. Everything is different than we've known. It's different in every community. It looks different across the country. There are just so many unknowns that you could spend your whole day playing the coulda, shoulda, woulda game, but that's not productive and it's not healthy. So for today, because ISN and Teacher Powered Schools Networks do such an amazing job of creating a safe, collaborative environment for teachers and educators and people that support education, that's what we want to do today. So again, we're creating this space for you to sit, to get comfortable sitting in the uncomfortable. So I'm going to say that one more time. Today is the time and space where you're going to start being comfortable sitting in the uncomfortable. So we're going to work on that together. So before we get started, I don't know if any of you, oh boy, okay, I thought I was gonna start playing. Okay, so I also not only want to talk about being comfortable in the uncomfortable, but also perspective. And how many of you are familiar with Brene Brown? Give a big wave, right? Okay, so she talks about perspective as a function of experience, and the older you are, the more experiences you've had, and the easier it is to put things into perspective. And what's interesting is none of us have experienced a global pandemic, a health crisis, an environmental and economic hardship like this before. So trying to put things into perspective for all of us is difficult, but it's also really difficult for our students. So I want us to think, as we talk about today and we talk about what school might look like, how do we help our students develop a mindset that's positive and uplifting in a time of so much worry and uncertainty? So I'm going to show you a very short clip from Rita Pearson's Every Kid Needs a Champion talk. Maybe you've seen this before, and if you have, that's awesome. I'll send the link in the chat to the whole thing because it's a really great reminder for 7 minutes of your life, like what you need to know. But this clip is super short, so pay attention.
I have had classes that were so low, so academically deficient that I cried. I wondered, how am I going to take this group in 9 months from where they are to where they need to be? And it was difficult. It was awfully hard. How do I raise the self-esteem of a child and his academic achievement at the same time? One year I came up with a bright idea. I told all my students, you were chosen to be in my class. Because I am the best teacher and you are the best students, they put us all together so we could show everybody else how to do it. One of the students said, really? I said, really? We have to show the other classes how to do it. So when we walk down the hall, people will notice us. So you can't make noise, you just have to strut. And I gave him a saying to say, I am somebody. I was somebody when I came. I'll be a better somebody when I leave. I am powerful and I am strong. I deserve the education that I get here. I have things to do, people to impress, and places to go. And they said, yeah. You say it long enough, it starts to be a part of you. And so, I gave a quiz, 20 questions. Student missed 18. I put a +2 on this paper and a big smiley face. He said, Miss Pearson, is this an F? I said, yes. He said, then why'd you put a smiley face? I said, because you on the roll. You got 2 right, you didn't miss them all. I said, and when we review this, won't you do better? He said, yes, ma'am, I can do better. You see, -18 sucks all the life out of you. +2 said, I ain't all bad.
Okay, so again, just a really quick reminder to everyone that the decisions that you are wrestling with right now, you are on a roll. Okay, you're being thoughtful, you're being vulnerable, you're loving, and you ain't all bad in making those decisions. There are not a lot of winning situations that we are dealing with. but we're not going to let it suck the life out of us. We are going to think positively. We are going to help our students think positively. And as we go into this year, remember that perspective is going to make a tremendous difference in how we approach things. So let's keep perspective in mind. Let's dig in today. We are going to get into some breakout rooms. Hang on one second here. And the way I would like this to work is I have created a spreadsheet. I have no idea how many breakout rooms we're going to end up with. 4, Todd? Okay, awesome. 4 breakout rooms. So the spreadsheet here, again, my goal for this entire webinar series was to create a place and a space for you to get things from. And so by putting things into this spreadsheet, this is a resource that everyone will have. So regardless of what breakout room you end up in, so if you're in room 1, 2, 3, 4, they're at the bottom, they're labeled. Everyone is going to be kind of adding to this same document. And then if you are in one breakout room, you can look at what other people were doing in another breakout room. And the goal is to just really kind of share. So the first goal would be to introduce yourselves, where you're from, obviously give your school elevator speech, and one thing you're looking forward to, because we're having that positive mindset today. So what's one thing you're looking forward to as we think about the school year ahead? And then we're really going to kind of dig deep here. So there's a series of questions. There's 4 questions in round 1. We're going to spend about 20 minutes talking about things. If you are talking and thinking about things, other people can be writing in this document. If someone writes a question or a concern, so like, what is one of the things you're having the most trouble wrapping your mind around as you think about starting this year? Whatever it may be. There are so many things, and if you need to add lines, please do so. But you are going to type something in here, and then if people have ideas or resources or things that they're thinking about, that's where you can add your comments as like a collaborative group. So not only could you be talking about it in your small group and discussing, which I would love for this to be more of a discussion than a writing thing, but the idea is to also have this archive. So hopefully we'll spend 20 minutes talking about these questions here. There's a variety of things. If there are other things that you want to talk about in your breakout rooms, go for it. This is about you guys today. This is just a guide to get us started. And like I said, we'll have about 20 minutes in the breakout rooms, and then it will automatically bring you back here. We'll do a quick activity. We sent a survey out, and what was really interesting to me and like kind of ironic, I asked like what people were really concerned about, and the #1 answer, you all have your cameras on and you're all like listening closely, right? Is how to avoid Zoom fatigue. Yeah, so sorry, you're meeting on Zoom right now, but we'll talk about that as a whole group, and then we'll do one more breakout at the end, and that's where which age group you would like to go into will come in handy. So if you're just joining us and you have not adjusted your name, please follow these instructions and rename your Zoom name in front of your name with a letter for round 2. We'll bug you if we need to. And then we will get started. Any questions before we send you off into breakout rooms? Okay, so 20 minutes. Maybe have someone in the room who is willing to sort of be a timekeeper at the beginning when we get into introductions. Try to keep it to around a minute for introducing yourself. And then whatever question you want to start on first, go for it. Okay? All right, so if everyone renamed their Zoom name, and then...
And we're right on 10:50, so that's good timekeeping then to keep us with it. And I have all the rooms set, so we'll have 4 rooms, and just make sure you click on your tab on the bottom of that spreadsheet that was in the chat. And I'll send that out here in just another minute. So I think we're good to go.
Okay. So
All right.
Todd will magically make you appear in a different room. Thanks everyone for being here. While he's figuring that out, I want to thank everyone for adding so many comments and resources or ideas to that document. If you haven't taken the opportunity to check through all of the tabs, I encourage you to do so. I think there's a tremendous amount of resources there for people that I think is really exciting. And even though it may not answer any questions in terms of like, where do I even start? It might get some wheels spinning. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a 5-minute, again, so I found out that Zoom fatigue was one of people's biggest concerns, which I totally agree with. So I did some research and I found that even though I've asked you all to keep your cameras on, that having your camera on is one of the biggest causes of fatigue. Did you know this? Yeah, I didn't either. So don't go anywhere, please. But at this time, I would like everyone to turn their cameras off and stand up. And I'm going to have you watch one more little inspirational video thing, but you cannot do it sitting down. You need to stand up and get the blood flowing. Let's get some movement back in our bodies. Kevin Miller, I know you are already standing behind your stand-up desk. That's perfect. You keep standing. I'm just guessing that, but so we're gonna do one more thing because I feel like as I was thinking about how to kind of talk with everyone today about so many things, but then also provide opportunities and inspiration for everyone to really kind of go into this year with such a positive mindset, that one of the things that I came across was this commencement speech from Denzel Washington, and someone else put this together in a really amazing way. So there's like closed captioning, so follow along, but we're gonna just like, as we're getting some movement into our bodies, we're gonna let Denzel talk us through another form of mindset that I want everyone to be thinking about for this year. So hopefully you can hear it. If not, someone let me know right away. Can you hear music?
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Without consistency, you'll never finish. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. All forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. You will fail at some point in your life, accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. And I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I'm telling you, embrace it, because it's inevitable.
Okay. Weird spot to end on my part, but okay, so if you could all turn your cameras back on and kind of rejoin the group. The point of that is that this is a totally new adventure again. And so taking risks, failing, but failing forward, falling forward, and helping yourselves and each other and continuing to pick each other up as time goes on and as you try new things and as you work with your students. Again, remind your students that there are times when this will suck. There are times when things won't go your way, but we're gonna fall forward together and we're gonna make things happen in a positive way, and we're gonna do the best that we can, and we're on a roll, just like Rita told us, and we're gonna look at that +2 and know that we're moving forward. So again, just kind of wanted to get everyone thinking about different things, and I am going to share, if you want to see the rest of it, it's actually minus all the spelling errors in there. It's pretty cool to watch. So that's the link to that one. And then I also shared the Rita Pearson's Every Kid Deserves a Champion TED Talk. If you haven't seen that, I also highly encourage you to finish watching all of that. So at this time, did I lose you, Todd? Nope, you're still here. Okay. So at this time, we are going to move into round 2. Again, I want to be very respectful of everyone's time. The goal is to end around noon. So if you can join us that long, that's awesome. If you have to take off at any point in time, feel free to do so. But for round 2, what we're going to do is go into breakouts again. And due to numbers, we are going to move to elementary and all, those of you that signed up for elementary and all, and then middle and high school groups. And so again, I have another round of questions. Let's see here.
I just put it in the chat, Liz.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so another round of questions and spreadsheets. So if you want to, I had it broken out into the 4 groups because I wasn't sure how many people would be attending. But if you want to type on any or all of those tabs, that's fine. But let's really think about, if you haven't had an opportunity to talk about what the first couple of days or an activity that you're really excited about doing with students might look like. If you have ideas or things that you've thought about that might be hands-on, but also available in a virtual environment, if you can think about those. Favorite non-Zoom virtual tools and why. If you can add why it's thebomb.com, why you really like it, why you found success with it. And then how to help students be independent, accountable learners. That's something that comes up all the time. And not take away time from parents that are potentially working at home. So again, any or all of the questions that you would like to dig into as a group, if you've got ideas or things that you want to add, that would be amazing. But really, it's your time as a group to kind of talk through things or just bounce ideas off of each other in a safe space. How are you starting? What are you doing? And then we'll end right. I'm not bringing anyone back for a formal closing, so the groups will kind of go as they will. And so because of that, I just want to thank everyone again for taking time out of your day and for being a part of this and the entire webinar series. If you've been a part of it from the beginning, just can't appreciate you enough for all of the time and effort and energy that you are pouring into students in schools this fall especially, and over your summer break.
And thank you again to New Plan Learning as well for
Yes.
to provide this for free to everyone. So thanks again to Beck. Beck, if you're still there, we really appreciate it, and we look forward to trying to get some more conversations going.
Absolutely. Yeah. Enjoy it. So dig into more about New Plan Learning, look at that, and then the Teacher Powered Schools Network and the Innovative Schools Network. Get involved, stay involved, hang out with your people. Okay. All right. So Todd's going to send us away again.
Groups are ready to go.
Thank you, everyone.